Welcome back to the podcast, episode 152, brother. We're in...
I don't know what's happening with the weather, but...
The weather is...
Even a bad day.
Might be turning on us.
So we got to make this quick, but a bad day...
Yeah, we got rain coming in, so we got to make
days.
this a bit quicker than usual.
Bad day's still a good day.
Yeah.
Here. But there's a big cloud right over us, and then there's one over there. But there's sun right above... Oh, no. There's a cloud there, too.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, talk about weather is boring. But we...
No, we just had a major hurricane in Florida.
Yeah, a lot of people
Thank
reached
God
out.
we missed it.
A lot of people reached out. We're fine.
Shout out to Johan.
Shout out to all the people that reached out.
The only one who reached out to me was Johan, so I can't speak on anybody else.
Was it really?
Yep, nobody else checked on
I had
me.
a lot of people reaching out.
No one gave fuck all to me except for Johan.
Because they read in...
Only Johan.
They read in Aftonbladet that there is a big storm in the Caribbean, and that's... They don't really know where our island is.
Oh, okay.
So they're like, "Are you good? Are you good?"
Well,
for
I
the
like
hurricane?"
that no one knows where our island is. It's kind of sexy. It's like
Mysterious,
there's somewhere
right?
in the middle.
Mysterious.
Yeah, but I only heard from Johan. So
I heard from a lot of people. So
that's
we're good.
That's because people
we're all the way
love
south.
you more than me.
We had some wind. We had some thunder. And other than that, we're good.
Yep.
So, dude, I read this. This is probably our most talked about topic in the podcast. Can you guess what it is?
No, not really.
Zombie apocalypse. So this is what I read. This came up on my Instagram, and I saved it because I was like,
Wait. What happened? You can't just...
I'm gonna talk to you about it.
You can't go in like that. You gotta like warm up to it.
No,
I have no idea.
I'm going
But
in
I know,
hot. We
but
got
it's-
30 minutes, dude. We got 30 minutes. We need to come in hot.
All right.
So what
I'll
I
do
read
my
about...
best.
Remember the fungus that's in The Last of Us?
Yeah.
That's spreading through humans?
Yeah.
So in the beginning of Last of Us, there's this TV show. When it's back in like the 60s, it's in the TV series. And they talk about this fungus spreading in insects.
Yeah.
And then they say like it can't spread in humans.
But isn't that... So I read something... No, I didn't read. That's a lie. I think I heard something recently. Like there's actually bugs that are doing that now.
This is where I'm going to.
Oh, okay.
This is where I'm going. So in that interview in the TV show, they say like, yeah, it can spread through humans because it needs to be below 94 degrees or something like that in the human body for it to... So the fungus doesn't have to evolve. But if the earth heats up, the fungus have a reason to evolve. And if it has a reason to evolve, it can get into humans.
Okay, now wait, just back up for 1 second. Is this real, what you're talking about, or is this...
This is from the TV show.
TV
this
show,
is what
okay.
they're talking, but it's probably
the lines are
real.
blurred, so I don't know what you're
It's
talking about.
probably real.
Okay, probably.
In my life, hey,
real.
bro sign is real. It's real as fuck. So this fungus in Scotland...
Where is our caretakers?
True.
One of our guys wrote down, I'm like, yeah, you're right, buddy. Where's that caretaker? They were off today.
Hey.
They let us out. Go ahead.
This podcast is no facts, all feel. That's what we go with. So I read this story that they found it in Scotland in spiders now. It's a rare fungus. I don't remember the name of it, but it's a rare fungus that they found in spiders that's acting exactly the same as the fungus in Last of Us.
In Scotland?
It takes over the body and it spreading its spores so the fungus can spread. And it makes the spider go on the leaves and die there and get into the leaves, so it's saving it from the rain, so it can spread its pores to other spiders.
In Scotland?
In Scotland.
You would think that'd be like Brazil or Colombia, like a kind of a heated tropical... Scotland?
This is
what
what
they got?
happened.
They got haggis
but
and
this is
sheep
what happened.
and... What else
I
they got
saw
in
another
Scotland?
video on YouTube.
Craig Ferguson, Scotland.
Because when you search for something, it comes up in your search history, right? So I saw this other one, a dude in Peru looking at a tarantula. Tarantula. And that you can see exactly the same spores that's in the show growing out of the tarantula. And this dude is just hovering over it and looking at it.
Yeah.
A zombie fungus that inspired the hit video game and TV show The Last of Us has come to life and has claimed a victim in Peru. You might be safe if you're a human, but sadly, for one tarantula, wasn't safe from the cordyceps fungus.
Now, he was infected by this fungus, and it took over his nervous system and forced him to come to this location. And then as he died, the fungus sprouted out of his body, allowing the spores to spread to another unsuspecting tarantula.
For now, it's only tarantulas. It's somewhat fascinating, but it's kind of nightmare fuel. Chris Catola, that's the researcher you just saw. He found the dead and infected tarantula in the jungle in Peru. As horrifying as the imagery is, he says seeing the fungus in action was a rare treat. However, isn't that scene right there how the movie starts? The researcher's looking at the fungus and it jumps on him and gets him in the humans, and then it goes to everybody else?
I don't remember.
Well,
I do get out of there.
I've seen the spore thing before on like National Geographic. It's kind of nasty because they get to a certain growth or temperature and everything dries out, then they just break, poof, and then they just float away. And they put it on a time lapse. I think it was on top of an ant, and it went into its head, and he grew like this long spore.
Yeah.
And he was just sitting there, and then it was like, I think it was almost controlling him.
It is.
Like after, don't quote me on it, because this was in passing. I think I got the impression it kind of took over the ant, and then the ant was like on autopilot.
This is what they're doing. This is
then
what they're doing to
when it dried
spread.
out, it popped, and then it got into the air. It was kind of creepy, actually.
Yeah.
It's kind of fucking creepy.
It's so weird, but that shit is out there and spreading in nature right now.
But that's the
Scares
thing.
the shit out of me.
Yeah, but that's the thing also, too. You always hear people that if they get stuck somewhere, they're worried about the big stuff, like a bear, a lion, a snake going to bite them. It's like, dude, it's the viruses that are going to get you. You know, it's the mosquitoes. It's the small shit, drinking something in the water. Like, that's where you've got a higher percentage of dying, right?
Exactly.
But people never think that way. They think of all the big stuff.
But so that is out there right now, waiting to infect humans.
Waiting.
It's
like
just
counting
waiting.
the days.
It's just waiting. But then again, I thought about this. We're in a kind of perfect situation if that shit went down. There's not a lot of people on this island. The problem is going to be food. But
What do you mean?
we have the oceans, that's right. We have the oceans. We can
Because I can't hunt in the woods for shit. But you put me in the water, you're getting fed tonight.
Yeah.
But if we're in the woods, I'd be done. Like
We
that.
have like pigs, we have sheep, we have goats, we have chicken on the island running around everywhere. We've got a lot of food and not a lot of zombies to kill if shit went down. So we're kind of isolated here, which is a good thing in a zombie apocalypse. I think we've never been this good off like we are right now.
I don't know.
Were that to happen.
But if it did happen here,
Yeah, but it's not a lot of people.
don't matter.
You know what I mean? How many people are living on the island? Like today, when on the off season?
Probably 2,000.
Yeah, 2,000-3,000 maybe.
Yeah, 2,000-3,000 people that are fucking infected looking for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to do that to you, but it tips the scale. Oh, I'll even do better.
It's good. It's better.
200 people infected looking for you. 200.
Well, it's
50.
Yeah. No, you're right.
That's not good numbers.
When you're right, you're right. But it's better than in a city. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, for sure. But I think the percentage is low. But if it hit here, then you'd be in more shit because you're isolated. You're not like, it's a double-edged sword, right?
Yeah.
Because, we're in a good spot. But if shit did go south here, we're trapped.
Yeah.
Opposed to if it happened in New York City, I'm just using that example, the population's higher, but there's a lot of veins
True.
leading out of the city. You know what I'm trying to say? There's a lot of more options, and you got to get on a boat and go. Then, but then you're out in the middle of the ocean. What if the engine goes bad and you're just bobbing? It's not like you can drive to another state or go up. There's good and bad in both scenarios. Man.
And say that it spread here first. How long before they bombed this island? Like total. With
Why
or
would you want
without
to bomb
them?
Long Island?
Because it's a virus spreading here and there's zombies on the island.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
No, it's a good question.
Depends.
I think they nuked the shit out of it.
You think so?
Yeah, I think they drop a nuke.
I think they'd keep it and use us as it's a controlled situation. They can come in and study us.
Oh.
So they'd be like, no, don't
Like
blow it up.
Jurassic Park?
It's isolated. We can go in.
Hey,
we can study them. We can get out of here. But
That's
then
it.
what will happen is, don't cut me off. What will happen is something will sneak up onto their boat or their plane, and then they take it back. See? And then it just unwinds. They don't learn.
That's exactly. I thought about Jurassic Park. As soon as you said that, I thought
about
about
it.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
It never ends well.
Yeah, never ends well.
Never ends well.
Never ends well. So what else deep thinking have you been doing?
That's my deep thinking. Thanks for listening to this podcast.
Yeah. And we're out. Good luck
Yeah.
with the zombie bugs.
No, that's
Yeah, but that was it was really creepy watching that video. I remember that because they time lapsed it, and it just took over the motor skills. And you saw its eyes turn like because ants have. You just saw like like they just started changing color too. It was just wild. It was creepy. It was
Nature
very
is
very creepy.
So weird.
Nature's
There's
savage, dude.
Yeah, there's so much out there. All right, so for years now, me and Mario has been using Whoop, and we have finally teamed up with Whoop so you can get started today. So Whoop measures the stressors you put on your body through training and everyday life to give you insight of the 3 key pillars: sleep, recovery, and strength. Heart rate variability, resting heart rate, respiratory rate, and sleep data. Unlock your Whoop recovery score each day. Use our link down here to get 30 days free and a free Whoop 4.0 and get started today. Do you follow Nature is Metal?
No, I tried to for a little while, but it just got too graphic for me.
I had to stop following it after a
It just
video
got too
dropped
graphic.
of a gorilla smashing a German Shepherd into the ground. Like, just smashing it like it's a fucking toy. Just smashing that dog. And I was like, that's too much for me. I'm tapping out right here. Nature is brutal.
How did the German Shepherd get near a gorilla?
Probably barking at it or something.
I know.
Fucking with it. I didn't
What
know.
scenario does a German Shepherd end up in front of a gorilla? I mean, you kind of got to introduce them to each other, right?
Well, there's German Shepherds in the jungle, maybe. Maybe they have them close to where gorillas...
There's no German Shepherds.
No, I don't mean roaming free. I don't mean roaming free.
Tom, I'm really trying to work with you, bro. I'm not going to lie. I'm really trying. I'm setting them up so you can hit them, but you're just...
I don't mean roaming free, bro.
You're tripping, bro.
I'm not like it's a wild animal in the jungle.
It's like finding a bunny in the ocean. You're like, hey, I don't know. They're out there.
I'm just saying people that live close to a jungle probably have German Shepherds. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
So not like they're roaming free in the jungle. Like it's
because that's the equivalent of a gorilla running into a grizzly bear. To me, you might as well put it in that position. A German Shepherd
Yeah. No, I don't know how they ended up together. I just know this video I saw, and I can not erase it from my mind. I cannot erase it from my mind.
What was it now? I think one I saw which was really cool was I think it was a lion, and she had attacked a baby water buffalo, and there was like a 1 or 2 water buffalo there, and they couldn't really manage it, and so one of them ran off, and then it disappeared for a moment, and then like the lion is just sitting there, and they just do what they do, like they've got it around its neck, and the little fucker is just like he's going down, right? They just hold him until in their windpipe. And all of a sudden, over the little ridge, because it was by water, over the ridge, all these water buffalo came and just started like slowly. They made like a line, and they started like marching towards it, and the lion had to let go.
So
and then they put themselves in front of the baby water buffalo, and it was like such a coordinated effort. Because there was a family, I guess they're on safari, and they had recorded it because they were on the other side. It was almost like this: they were here. And then it got attacked there. Then they went over the ridge and came back. So this is the view that you're seeing it from. Huh. And it just looked really wild. It was just like military tactics. It was wild. Yeah, it was wild, man. It was definitely wild. But some of the stuff on there I've seen, it's just, it's just too violent, man.
Yeah.
I get if I see it in real life, like if you witness it, it's different. But to have it put in my face constantly, it's just like, oof. I get it's nature. You don't want to interfere. You kind of want to leave it. Let it work itself out, but just to watch that stuff is hardcore.
It's kind of good to see like how brutal it is out there, because people still think bears are teddy bears. You know what I mean? And walk up to them.
Yeah, but you're an idiot.
Yeah.
I mean, who in their right mind would think?
They're cute, but
I love dogs. I see a wild dog, I'm feeling it out. What do you think you're gonna do with a bear?
Yeah, dude. A wild
See, those
dog.
type of people, I think, is survival of the fittest. They kind of deserve what they get.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're like, you know what? You're an idiot. We're thinning the herd, as
Yep.
you could say, getting rid of the weak ones. That's why only the strong survive. That's stupid.
Yeah, I saw a guy the other day in Florida, of all places. He was you can see like it was a lake, and you couldn't see shit in the lake. It was just muddy. And it was like a bridge, and he was doing a commercial for his brand on social media. And you can see him in the water, and you see the crocodile coming. It's like filmed from over here, like a drone. You can see like the crocodile coming, and it's fucking grab him by the head. And he somehow punched it in the mouth. His head was in the crocodile's mouth, and he somehow like put his hands in there and punched him. And he let go, but his head was like caved in. It was like half a head. He survived, but
So he didn't see it.
he didn't see it coming. The drone saw it coming though.
But who
It
was driving
filming.
the drone?
Probably someone that
flying
was
the drone.
probably someone that was filming or something, or probably maybe send it up. You know how you can send up a drone and it's just hovering. Maybe
Oh,
he did
so
that.
it wasn't like his buddy was recording it and didn't say nothing.
No, that would be a shitty buddy.
Well, dude, I've seen that stuff before, haven't you? You're like, whoa, why don't you put the camera down and help your friend?
Oh yeah,
There's this Florida again
Florida's wild.
with alligators, crocodiles. I think alligators are the bigger ones, right? Crocodiles are the smaller ones, or it's the other way, one or the other.
Alligator sounds like the bigger one.
So, no, the crocodile's bigger.
Is it really?
Yeah. Anyway, so someone will correct this, so don't worry about it. So basically, there was a guy. They had a place where you go and pay money, and they they fuck around with the crocodiles and the alligators and all that shit. And the guy had, they lift open the mouths
Yeah.
and they put their heads in there. And this one guy had been doing it forever, but supposedly, when he opened it, he forgot to wipe his brow because they were sweating, and a little bit of sweat hit the alligator's tongue, and supposedly what that does is it just triggers this and he got caught in there. And dude, it was the funniest shit I ever saw, because I'm like, you're an idiot, you shouldn't be doing it. And he's trying to get it out. They had to put like a crowbar in there and get that. He got him out, but it was just so wild to see how it's like a trap, like,
Hey,
dude,
if it's
violent.
anything I learned, don't stick your head in an alligator's mouth.
But there's just a
I
zone
learned
you
that
won't.
when I was a young boy.
There's a zone you won't go into. Talk about someone you dated. But dude, there's a zone I just don't get. I mean,
No, don't fuck.
studying stuff is different, but poking it.
Don't fuck with alligator ever. That would be a good rule for life. And don't swim in muddy waters ever. When I go down to the beach here, it's been waves for a couple of days, and the water is a bit like milky, so I can't see the bottom. I'm in and out now.
I actually don't like shallow water. I prefer deep water.
Yeah, I know, but you're different.
If I can't see the bottom in the ocean, it doesn't bother me. But shallow water, when it's murky like that, and you're like in waist high water,
Yeah,
it's always bothered me a little bit, because it's like if you need to get out. You ever try to run through water?
yeah.
It's like I'd rather be in deep water so I can dive down. I feel like I can move more in the ocean and just be a little more focused on something, opposed to in waist high water trying to get out and something's coming.
Yeah.
The chances of that happening are very low, but people do get attacked off the beach everywhere around the world. But I've always felt safer in deeper water. People go, I can't see the bottom. I'm like, I'm happier than a pig in shit right now.
Yeah, no, I see.
I feel like you can move around a lot more.
Yeah. No, I would. I don't like it when you don't see, because there's been shark footage at like NASA, so there's sharks out there.
Dude, there. You go online. There's plenty of videos where you'll see tourists, maybe in Florida or like South Africa, and they're off the beach, laying out in the sun, and they're all splashing around the beach, and maybe 30 meters, 45 meters out, you just see it's like a highway.
Yeah.
Sharks are just swimming by, and they're like so close, and people are just oblivious to it. They have no idea what's going on.
California is the same.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sharks in California.
Yeah. Great whites.
I think
It's
so.
great. It's great whites in California because it's cold water.
Yeah.
So South Africa's great whites. Here we just have reef sharks. Unless you're spearfishing, you have to physically swim up to a shark and punch it.
Really?
Oh my God! It's very. Maybe once in a while there may be a fluke off the beach, and it's because of the visibility might have been bad, and the shark is realistically probably giving you all the signals to get out of its area, Like they drop their fins down, they raise their head, they do this little dance. I've only seen it in deep water, but that's when someone gets attacked on the beach. It's not intent. Like they don't hunt you.
Really?
Bull sharks are aggressive as shit, but then again, I don't know. I think there's just a way to manage it, right?
Has there been a lot of shark attacks in Bahamas, specifically?
There have been, but usually it's because people are spearfishing.
Off the beach? Yeah, that's what I was saying. Off the beach or off the boats?
Off the beach, very rarely, but spearfishing, it's more because they're coming to get the fish.
Yeah.
Off your spear, and then, but like hunting you and wanting to kill you, that's movie shit, dude.
Is it so?
That's all movie stuff.
So
It
blood
really
in the
is.
water. It's like a myth.
I don't know if it's a myth, but I mean, some things get blown out of proportion, right?
Like you've been in the water more than
Yeah.
most, so you should know. You know what I mean? You've seen sharks.
Oh, dude, I used to hand feed them in chainmail this was years ago.
Chainmail?
Yeah, like the thin metal.
Yeah.
Wait, they call it a chainmail suit. It's like you
I
ever
see
watched?
like a knight in front of me.
Yeah, but that's the
Seven
armor.
Kingdoms.
I'm not talking about the armor. I'm talking about underneath it, that metal that they wear. You know, they put the little hoodie on,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
very, very thin.
Yes.
That's chainmail, but we have it for diving too.
Really?
Yeah, so when you're hand feeding them and you have the gloves on, so yeah, so if they bite, they just let go. It's like
Really?
yeah. That was
know.
fun. And I never had an issue, man.
Doesn't it get heavy? Like
Oh, it's
chainmail?
very heavy. Well, it's not very heavy, but then again, I mean, I don't know how much it will actually do for you if something decided just to be like, today's the day,
That's what I'm thinking.
right? But
How much would it help?
I never had an issue. So, and we used to actually do it here, but we didn't wear a suit, the chainmail. What we would do is, me and the guy that I worked with at the time, we would go out and this is one of the first islands that actually started doing it in the Bahamas, shark feeding. But the way we did it here was we would put all the food in a bucket, and then we would go out to one area, and they've been doing it for so long, is like as soon as you get there, the sharks just start swimming into the boat, like they know what's going to happen.
Mm.
And it was pretty cool because there was just times when what you do is you get all the divers in the water, and then the guy up top's waiting, and he kind of has a timer. He knows when you're set up because he can see where the bubbles are lined up. And then he drops the bucket off the top back of the boat, and you watch it, and they just attack it, dude. And then you just sit there you just sit down there and watch it for as long as you can. Not as long as you can, but until it's pretty much over, then the sharks just swim off.
So you feel safe down there?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Really?
For sure. And the thing
That's
is, too,
not for me.
you see so much movements that people don't realize. Like sometimes I would go in first, or Omar would go in first, and we would sit there, and the other one's getting the people ready, and then like our first mate would be the one putting, because obviously we're in the water. Our first mate would stay on the boat. He'd drop the stuff in. But there was times where I would see the sharks come up, and they would like glide along the bottom of the boat, like almost like a cat, like wanting to be fed. It was weird, man.
Whoa.
Yeah, but these are like white tip. I think it's mostly white tip and black tip reef sharks down here. And you got nurse sharks, then you got bull sharks, and you got tiger sharks. But I've never seen a tiger shark down here. They're here, but I've never seen them. I've seen them in Abaco though. Yeah, those are big. Tiger sharks are big boys.
Yeah.
So
No, the first time I'm gonna encounter a shark, it's gonna be special. I don't know if
I think you're gonna come up so fast.
Yeah, I think
you're gonna
so
hit the
too.
boat dry, man.
Yeah, bro.
And I'm not gonna tell you because I'll see it before you do, and I won't even open my mouth I'm just gonna look at you underwater.
No,
just see how you
no,
feel.
you have to prepare me.
Prepare you for what?
Yeah, prepare me for attack.
Nah, I'm just gonna sit there and let it just happen.
No.
It'll be fun. Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
I gotta call you out on something, by the way. You are trying to make me more American. 3 things. First of all, we watched a wrestling documentary, and you're trying to sell him wrestling to me. Second of all, you show me American Ninja. Ninja. American Ninja.
Best movie ever.
Third, I'm drinking Gatorade right now. I never drank Gatorade in my life. Those are 3 things that you're trying to make
I think
me
I'm
more...
making you a better person from what you're saying.
Yeah, maybe. How
We
crazy...
watched a documentary, and you're thinking I'm trying to get you into wrestling. I'm not.
Dude, you were standing on the couch shouting like you were fucking in the ring, dude.
There's a lot more to that story than that, but that's fine. No, but it was a cool documentary. And then also with American Ninja's the best movie ever made. I was 10 when that came, 12 when I came out.
American Ninja was a solid
That
movie.
movie was a shit. What are you talking about?
I loved
Legit.
spoiler alert, I love the ending.
Legit.
When they attack in the house and the military dude is with his shirt off and a big fucking, what do you call those? On the back of a car. Big machine gun, basically. A big,
look like a Gatling gun.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is really cool, too. It's very interesting because we talked about this before, but you can always see the time period of a movie because in the early 80s, they always shot from the hip. They'd be coming in and the guns are down here. And then there was a transition where it must have been like the early 90s when they were coming through. That all of a sudden, they were always carrying the guns and rifles like in the shoulder high up. But before, when any movie where they're holding it down here, no shirt and a headband. Doesn't matter who the hell it is. Chuck, Arnold, Stallone, all of them, dude.
That's what happened at the end of this movie
down
as well.
there, holding it down here.
I was like waiting for that moment.
Yeah.
Because he got his full suit and everything. And samurai swords and all of it.
That movie came out, man. When that me and my buddies were beating the shit out of each other when that movie came out. It was like 11. We were like 12, dude. That was 80s movies are the best. No. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Dude.
I was just waiting for that scene at the end. But you're the one that told me when they're holding their guns at the hip. I'd never thought about that before you told me.
Well, I noticed it once. I'm not a gun guy like that. I've shot guns, you know that, but I'm not like, oh, that's a P whatever. I don't, you know. It's fun to go to the range, but that's as far as my talents go, right? But I just remember, it just hit me one day. I'm like, I think what happened was I was watching movies when they were holding them up here, like in the shoulder. And then something happened, and I watched an 80s movie, and I'm like, I think it was like Chuck Norris or something. I'm like, why the hell are they holding it down here?
Yeah.
And of course, you know me, I go down rabbit holes, and OCD kicks in. So I start like obsessive about it. I start looking around, and I start noticing in the 80s movies, they were holding it low. And then around the 90s, early 90s, I don't know exactly when they started holding it higher. And I think, if I remember correctly, that's actually when the military started doing that in real life, too. So at one point, they did hold it down there.
Really?
Yeah. So again, don't quote me on it.
Not even.
I take it. I retain
pure,
too much. So
I thought that was pure movie stuff. That it was holding the gun at the hip. So that makes no sense.
Well, it probably did at one point in time, right? It's like
How?
Everything evolves. Everything gets more efficient.
Your eyes
everything
are up
gets
here
better.
where you're aiming, and you're down here.
Dude, when you got your shirt off and you're jacked with a headband, you don't give a fuck. Whatever,
This is a
you're
good
just
fucking point.
spraying, bro.
This is a
You're
good
like, hey,
point.
whatever's in front of me, it's the enemy. All my good guys are behind me, so fuck it.
And you know the guy with the headband and his shirt off is the first guy going in.
Is kicking ass.
Yeah, he's the first guy going in as well.
But yeah, that was a great movie, dude. And then the wrestling. Who doesn't like wrestling, man?
$2.3 billion, dude.
Yeah, but he also supposedly was a piece of shit with a lot of women. But the thing is, I didn't want to. When I watched it, that's it. Always happens, right?
Yeah.
That seems like that's the norm. You watch something, it's real great, and then it just goes off the rails, and there's lawsuits, and there's sexual assault. Like, it doesn't matter. That's like 99.9% of most of these shows or documentaries about someone that's building something. But it was just interesting to watch and see all the wrestlers that I grew up watching when I was little. I was like, oh shit, Hacksaw, you know what I mean? Jim Duggan or Junkyard Dog and The Rock. Like, that was just cool. Stone Cold, Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan. You know, that was just cool, man, because that shit was... But, I mean, you got to be an idiot. It's real physically.
Sure.
Those guys are athletes. I don't give a shit what anyone says. A guy that big jumping off a rope and not killing the other guy, that's talent, that's athleticism, right?
Sure.
But I think anyone that sits there and gets involved to the point where they're looking at like real life, your parents fucked up with you somewhere along the line. Because they're probably into it so hard. And
this is probably going to hurt a lot of people, but is it fair to say that it's the dumbest people of society that's in the crowd? Or only I don't know.
I think it depends on how you take it. I'm pretty sure there's certain areas where, but I think if you can take anything like you should as entertainment, it's almost like a horror movie, right? You watch a movie of some psycho killer going everywhere and killing everyone. You're like, okay, that's not real. once you turn it off, you can remove yourself, right?
Yeah.
Or anything along those lines. But some people don't have that off switch. They can't. A video game. You know I'm a gamer. I love video games. But when it's off, it's off. I'm not thinking Grand Theft Auto when I'm driving down the street. But
Exactly.
some people, and I think it falls in there with the wrestling, right? Because some people, you saw them in the crowd. Their faces were red. They were pissed.
Yeah, they were pissed.
They were losing their shit. I'm like,
And
exhale, man.
when
It's a
their
show.
favorite come out, they did this.
Whoa, don't knock that. That's Stone Cold. Watch
Because
yourself.
Stone Cold
Watch
said
yourself.
so.
Watch yourself, bro.
Such a dork.
But it's fun. It's just
It's
fun.
a room
man.
full of dorks.
It's fun.
But I never knew the story of McMahon and where it came from and what it built. But all the allegations and stuff, the character he was playing, like no shit. That's all.
Yeah.
That's like no shit. He did all those things.
Yeah. But like I said, it's
Because it came to a
mindless.
line when
Mindless fun is okay for a couple of hours. I think as long as you get pulled back into reality, and I think people get stuck.
yeah.
And it doesn't matter. And it's just fun. And then you've got these little sayings, and it's just fun, dude. It's like, it's all it is, man. It's fun entertainment, and if you take it real, it's like whatever. Like you're trying to tell me if Hulk Hogan didn't walk up, you'd be like, oh shit, what's up, man? He's a legend, dude.
Hulk Hogan we knew about in Sweden, so that's
He's
how
a
big
legend,
it is.
yeah.
When I was younger in Sweden, everyone know who Hulk Hogan was.
Dude, he's a national treasure in the States.
But other than that, like
He's
we
like
didn't know
crocodile.
who
He's like, what's his name?
Stone Cold. No one knew who Stone Cold was in Sweden.
Yeah, well, y'all stupid.
Are we though?
I'm joking. Am I? No, I'm just teasing. That's pretty funny. No, but like I said, it was just fun. It's just fun to watch. But you and I were laughing because some of the people were so invested.
Yeah.
Like to the point where you're just like, there's something wrong. There is something wrong with you.
That's what I'm saying. It must be like, it might be rude, but it might be like 95% virgin dudes that living in their mother's basement.
Maybe.
Is that fair to say?
Maybe.
Or is that just rude?
Well, I mean, okay, me and my buddies growing up, I think we all, of course, I think we probably grew out of it when we were like 13, 14. Like, you know what I mean? When you're a little kid, you see someone larger than life doing shit that you're like, what? Hitting people with chairs, jumping off ropes, And for a kid, you're like, yes, right?
Yeah.
But I think the natural progression is to grow out of those type of things. Not like you didn't know who certain wrestlers were as you moved on, because you're kind of in that orbit. You know what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
But you grow out of it, and I think some people just don't. I think that's the problem.
I feel like I'm
right?
being rude. Sorry, dudes. That's go
Well,
with your wrestling.
I don't think you're being rude. I think maybe it's just if you grew up in the States, you might look at it a bit different.
Yeah, maybe.
Don't you think you might be like, yeah, it was fun, but I grew out of it, like I'm saying now,
Maybe.
opposed to they're all fucking idiots. I'm like,
I like watching real sport. That's all I'm saying. They're athletes.
they're
doing.
sports are fixed too.
We don't want to get into that because we
No,
don't
I mean
have time.
you're
today.
gonna make fun of wrestling.
We don't have
at
time
least
today.
At least they admit that it's staged. But hey,
That's the
professional sports.
stupidest thing you ever said, dude. So stupid.
Professional
That
sports.
you even believe that?
Professional
Dude,
sports
you
is
don't.
rigged.
You know nothing about sports. First
I know
of all,
it's rigged.
It's just so stupid.
I just want to give you something to dive into because next week you're going to bring it up.
Hey,
You
will
bring
I
it up.
ever?
You're going to bring it up.
That's so
it's
stupid.
all staged.
All right, we gotta end this podcast right now because
Because you're upset that sports are
Yeah,
staged.
no, the food stores are closing soon, and we need to get there. So this has been episode 152, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye.
It's so funny, dude. Tom's like,
so
whoa, hey.
That's so stupid.